The General will call that a tactical retreat, I'm sure. But you have him on the run. That thing he summoned was illithid. Follow it below and find him, before he has a chance to subdue the Night Song again. I certainly do. You have numbers enough already, I think. You'll want a small force, if you are to finish this quickly. Don't rush on my account.
The hole yawns back at you, impossibly wide. A single tentacle burrowed through stone.
This is an illithid colony. This must be where they harvest the tadpoles. We're close to the source of the infections.
All of this sitting beneath moonrise. For how long? And how deep does it go?
Tread carefully. We are very close to the source of the Absolute now. That telepathic storm has become a tempest.
It strikes me that for a Mind Flayer colony, there are remarkably few Mind Flayers about the place.
Squiddies have gone to war, is my guess.
On the Absolute's behalf? Well, there's an alliance I'd have been quite happy without.
Mind flayers and civilians, side by side. This
The
must be
device
where they
releases a
infect and
stream of
transform those they
fragmented
kidnap.
memories and emotions. All that remains of the pod inhabitant's former self. The device does not react to your presence. Courage, conviction, defiance. Even as her organs began to dissolve, she believed she could resist. You remember the shattered windows of Elturel's high cathedral, the burning black sky of Avernus beyond. In its horror, the blood war unites you. Tiefling, dwarf, and elf alike huddle behind the shields of your paladin order, waiting for salvation. But when it comes, disunity. The returned city casts your people out, the devils who drag them down to hell. In the end, it is not your paladin oath that is broken. It is your faith itself. Amusement, Curiosity. Fascination. He believed the horrors of Moonrise to be a fleeting dream that fade on waking. Though the pod is empty, traces of psychic energy still linger about it, and memories of its former inhabitants spill into your mind. You see the streets of Baldur's Gate, the emblem of the Flaming Fist, martial drills and courtly dances. You feel the courage of a soldier who became a commander, and the intelligence of a commander who became a duke. Ravengard was here, in this pod not long ago. This pod pulsates with the angry memories of Ravengard's search officer, Manip Shurga. She laments her failure to locate him.
Faithful, we depart.
Desperation, pain, terror. Cultists raided his village. He was the sole survivor. Your lungs burn with the dry heat of the fires raging about you. But the pain is not enough to diminish your swing. One goblin after another falls to your blade. A man's voice cries out through the thick smoke. "Ravengard," you call, but the clang of swords and spell shouts of attacking drow are your only reply.
Brine pools, but empty of tadpoles. Unusual. Harvesting all the larvae indicates they are getting ready for something big.
That pod. Is that Mizora inside?
By Grazit's cock, it's about time you came! Go on and gloat. Bow to your pretend crowd. All done? Good. Now, enough sniffing around and get me out of this thing. Incredible. You actually think you hold the winning hand. Fine, I'll play your game. But I amend the pact. Clause F, Section 9. Soulbinder shall bestow reward or favor only upon soul bearers' fulfillment of related obligation. Now, open the pod.
Your eyes turn to the control panel next to the pod. It has two devices marked with illithid symbols. The controls are open to your tadpole's command, to your authority. You know this symbol from the Mind Flayer ship. It means annihilate.
Good work. I'd give you a gold star, but I'm fresh out. As for the pact... Clause Z, Section 13. If the Soulbinder consents to separation, she will release the Soul Bearer from all obligation within 6 months.
Oh, 6 months is a trifle. You barely read through a single bookcase in Candlekeep in such a time.
Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you. Not going to happen, but I do like your spunk. Right. I'm out of here. I need a long bath. I'll leave you to your very serious business. But don't you fret. If you survive this place, I'll find you. The pup will be needing me. Count on it. Oh, and ask Will how we met. I've loosened his tongue. It's real cracker of a tale. Ta-ta.
Lashes. Balthazar let one of his walking carcasses lapse from his control. Let's ferry them back. Wait! By the Bone Lord. It's you! I thought I'd never see you again. I wanted to keep you for myself, but they shipped you away. You talk! And you are aware. How is that possible? Oh, but what an arresting voice you have. You're not supposed to be here, Special One. That's not right. But I don't want to damage you. You were my very first, after all. I learned everything about the parasites from you. I remember finding you close to death. Beaten black and blue on the floor of this sanctum. It must have been a few hours after the tadpole was placed in your skull. How you got here was a total mystery. But I stitched you up just enough to keep you alive, then placed you within your crib. I kept you as mine, until you were needed by our superiors. We had such a close bond. I opened you up endlessly with my scalpels, and got lost in your insides. The most important work, the nature of which I only heard whispers. Truthfully, I'm not surprised to see you found your way back here all by yourself. I always knew you were clever. It has never been the same with another. All the other victims who come here just meekly obey. You thrashed. You fought. You were indomitable. But as special as you are, you shouldn't be swanning around here, acting as if free will is yours again. We're going to kill you, sweet one. But I promise I will stay with you afterwards. Lashes, bring this one back to my table. And prepare my knives for a long night of experiments.
Let me recite their demise. Here we go again.
avenge your carcass once I'm done with you!
Never a dull moment.
I shall make sweet music of your scream.
On my way.
Allow me to demonstrate. What now? They're dying for me.
She is but the hack doctor who half pieced you together after whatever caused your head to get in this mess. Someone else must have attacked you in the midst of whatever you were doing down here. This necromancer was a grunt in the scheme of the horrors enacted against you. That attacker is the source. In the heart of all these membranes, there was a dagger awaiting you all along. But from who? The corpse does not respond.
What am I to do?
Baldur's Gate will know my design. Our design. the city, every soul made true. Hurry now. The city calls out for salvation. The chosen are my heart, and you my many hands. Of many hearts, one soul. Prepare the march. My chosen gather. Descend. Prepare. Liberate. Evacuate.
A whole fleet of nautiloids. How many true souls have passed through this place?
Aye, aye.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Barrel sharp. Wit on you.
Focus.
Well, so much for peace.
My faith will protect me.
Ooh, sharp as a pig's testicle.
Say bye-bye.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Let's finish this.
us mortals be. Checkmate.
Highlight, Part 12. The boring opponent.
I feel glorious.
Empty vessel, nothing more. Lending voice to elder law.
The moment comes. The absolute knows. Not design, but death. Baldur's Gate will know my design. Our design.
Pardon? Wouldn't do to phlegm all over Lord Gortash during my first performance, would it? Acoustics are a little off in here. Which is where exactly? He heard me singing in Beggar's Rest. Said he needed someone to give voice to lost knowledge. A little over my head, being honest, but the Lord has gold. I trust he knows his business. Now, I'd best warm up. Oh, oddly sentimental. Or mayhaps you're just looking for an edge on the competition, eh? No fooling me. Patience. You'll hear it when Lord Gortash does. The owl bear bore Owlwill's icy ire. Every day he comes. Every day for 3 days.
to ask me how I feel. I want to tell, but I am confused. Which day is it? She whispers in my mind. She sings, praise the Absolute. Separate cells. I never saw them, but when they changed...
My head! I can feel them in my head!
Eye hurts. Head hurts. But he says I am past the worst of it. That I won't change like the others. He's given me a place of honor, so he can repeat his miracle. And a name. True soul. The first, yes. 5 days since he put that thing in my eye, but the first day he came to visit. He says I am the last, that the other subjects have all changed. We are his pets. His plan, Lord Gortash.
Just psionicked.
The stench. I wonder how many pilgrimages to Moonrise ended down here. So much blood. The Illithids take what's useful and discard the rest.
You can do it again? They are not kind to us here. We are different, they say, aberrant. They wish to repurpose us, destroy what they cannot fix. Please, help us escape harm. Oh, thank you. Thank you! You are a good friend. No, more. Rescuer!
No will sparks behind his eyes. His mind has been hollowed out to better echo the commands of the collective. You could kill it, end its miserable life of enslavement. Surely that would be the humane thing to do. Or you could take advantage of its vulnerability and plunder what's left of its hollow mind for anything that could serve you.
Master. Down deep. 1 of 3. 1 of 3. Not for long. Time for jump.
What's this?
Swords meet sorcery.
No choice but to keep going.
Free at last. No more chop. Chop. Chop.
fancy their chances.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
We are free! Thank you, friend. But perils remain, near and far. Better to stay together. You and us, we will remain with you. Call us, and we will be at your side.
Descend, assemble. Descend. Liberate. Descend, assemble.
Platform's already here.
Descend. Obey.
Tadpole forms a telepathic connection with the device, and a chorus of static energy fills your mind. Every mind flayer in the room calls out hungrily from its pod, seeking release and sustenance. But there are others in the pods, those not yet infected, not yet elithid, terrified, desperate to escape. The device is open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
you might.
Enough! My mind is my own! Arde!
Survival is all that matters.
Give up.
Death is but a word away.
Take this! Hells. I didn't think I was going to make it. Thank you. I owe you an explanation. Much more than that. But first, please, the others, the ambush. Tell me they survived. Somehow I suspect it's worse even than you imagine. Likely you heard that I broke, or froze, or some other lie kinder than the truth. We were ambushed by cultists, yes. And then I heard her. Their false god, whispering promises in my mind. I would be a paladin again, with a god's purpose, a god's power. Everything I needed to protect my people. And all the while, the cult tortured them. They fought and ran and died around me, while I imagined myself their savior. By the time I regained my senses, it was too late. I did not just surrender to the Absolute. For a moment, I welcomed it. I fell short of that mark in Avernus, and even so, it was not so bad as this. I won't make excuses. I can't make amends. But I know something of what you came to do. I want to help, if you'll let me. Ketheric is below. He thinks you're no longer a menace. Descend and show him how wrong he is. If there are any more survivors to be found, I'll find them and lead them out of this place. Only if you can trust it won't be buried in your back. The Absolute swayed me once before. I won't risk it happening again. Go, my friend. Please, let me do this much. Hells, I didn't think I was going to make it. Thank you. Finish what you came here to do. I dare say you've done enough for me.
I don't know how to thank you. I thought I was done for. This is a bleeding shit show. Half my squad's dead, the other half sporting tentacles. We came here to rescue Duke Ravengard. But we didn't stand a chance. Yeah. He was in one of the pods. The cultists took him away. He was still human, and still trying to put up a fight.
Best keep your hands to yourself. You're being watched.
Down.
The corpse has nothing to...
Hurry now. The city calls out for salvation. The chosen are my heart, and you my many hands.
can I go back to bed, Mummy? I don't know what that means. I had to dream again. The big, spiky snail that came from the sky. I'm sleepy, Mummy. You must stop waking me up. Night, night, Mummy. Love you.
Prepare the march. My chosen gather below.
The console bursts into life. A mind touches your own. Alien and full of desperate need, but fragmented too. It is incomplete. It yearns to connect, but needs you to guide the process, linking each part of your mind to its like. Mind passively awaits your
Master, welcome. Welcome back, Master.
Time to see what's back there.
presence, but memory, tinged with loss.
The grand design. Order. Perfection. Unity. Every plane as one. Every being in their place.
That loss blooms into a sudden fury, burying claws in your mind.
Taken. Corrupted. Gone.
And just as suddenly, pain and memory are gone, leaving only stone once more.
The grand design. The restoration of the Mind Flayer Empire. The dream of all Illithids.
How did the Illithid Empire fall?
I don't know. I'm just glad it fell.
The moment comes. The absolute moves. Not design, but death.
At the ready.
Baldur.
Ready and willing.
No, my design. Our design.
Fine bones, sharp jaw. Some variety of elf. Pretty enough for a flesh prison, if not the noble Githzerai features I was born with.
The monk-like Githzerai, sibling race to the warrior Githyanki. Their contempt for one another is eclipsed only by their shared hatred of the Illithids.
I'd guess you're no willing guest of the Gate either. Perhaps we might aid one another. A Githzerai's mind is not so easily cracked. Our discipline was the very reason we were attacked. My order taught a psionic technique much feared by the Gate. They destroyed us for it, and kept me as a trophy. I never broke, but I've spent all these centuries awake, aware. So here is my offer. Use your tadpole, erase me, and I will pass my technique on to you.
You catch the lie. The monk isn't telling everything.
All right, the Gate did not find my monastery. I led them there. They promised me immortality, and they gave it. I have been their rotting trophy for centuries.
As her agitation swells, so does her latent psionic power. To your tadpole, that guilt and terror are almost fragrant. You realize the Illithids locked her away not as a trophy, but as a fine vintage.
Please, touch my mind and purge it. The moment you do, my knowledge will be yours.
The awareness that floods you is nothing like the tadpole. It is tentative and tinged with the loneliness of eons. It fades beneath your touch, but you feel something left behind. A fragment.
It is only knowledge yet, without comprehension. But when you use it, you will see. And I